Bill, could you maybe like describe what's the characteristics for the pitch deck that your company actually invested in, like from the other side of the spectrum?
Okay, sure. Thank you very much, Paul. And I would like to thank you guys for inviting me to join this panel. I would say there are so many characteristics to make a successful venture from a VC perspective. But in my mind, for our style at Shunwei, there are three key characteristics we're looking for. The first one is the growth. I think venture capital investors are always growth buyers. We are buying for the potential of a company to be successful in the future. We are not buying what the company already accomplished. So the greatest signal we can see for future is the past growth. So most of the company when we invested are very high growing, high potential companies. So they are in, just like Hugo said, in very great market, and they are the successful leader in this company. So in the pitch deck, I think it is very important for them to show what is their growth and why that growth matters and why that growth is sustainable in the future. So I think the number one, that is very important. And the second is be straightforward about the business model and your idea. Most of the venture capital investors will view a lot of cases on a daily basis. For me personally, maybe 20. So we need to understand what is the business truly doing in the very bottom level. There are some pitch deck or like business plans are very fancy. They are looking for what is the most trendy ideas in China or in whatever in the United States. But at the end, I didn't get what is the foundation of their business model. How do they generate revenue and how do they attract customers? So at the end, it doesn't work out well. See those business plans. The great business plan, however, in terms of pitch deck, is very simple ideas to let people know why your business work and why your business matters to your targeted customers and why this is sustainable in the future. So I think the second one, be straightforward, is very important. That helps the VC investors to understand and judge your business in a very shortly manner. And the third one I think very important is to show who is your customer to your VC. For entrepreneurs, they're selling their project, they are selling their business to the venture capital funds. But on the other side, they are also most important selling their products to the customers, the person who buy the company's product. So in my mind, when I talk with the investors, I'm always very clear how do they sell their products, not only through the pitch deck, but also through the telling. They do business development, because that's basically is the way, the only way I think for a company to grow, but because they need to generate some revenue. So that is also a very strong characteristic. So with the three parts, if your company has a strong growth in the past, and you have very clear idea of a business model, and you know how to sell it in the future, I think that would be the great the characteristic that we are very looking for as venture capital investors.
Thank you for such a long and really exhaustive, like a long answer, and it's very informative. So basically, there are like three key problems, which is like growth, simple business model, and who is the customer. This is like the part of your has to be like must be on the pitch deck, right? Like from your point. And like let's say regarding to the Chinese ecosystem of the startups, what would you say there's the like specific features of those individual like pitch decks? Are they like sort of different from, let's say, for the Western side, or like how do they, in your experience, differ?
Yeah, I think the greatest feature in China, especially for early stage startup, is that this is really cutthroat market. For every great track or every great business plan, there will quickly be 10, 20, 30 companies joining in for the similar idea. That happens in the past, as in past 2 decades. So your idea is probably in China not that valuable as you thought if you cannot generate through your market leading role or your market dominance. That's a little bit different from the Western side because people are not that competitive in terms of joining into the same idea. So that's why you see in many businesses in China in the past 10 years, there will be huge venture capital funds to invest in multiple companies that are doing similar business. that doesn't work out very much, I think, in the Western, at least from US, based on my education. So that is a very unique factor, and I think show competitive advantage compared with the peers or peer companies in the similar track or industry is a very important part in the pitch deck.
So because of the Chinese environment is so so fierce, so you would recommend to have like, let's say, a separate slide of the competition analysis, or like something like other advantages you can show the VCs?
Yeah, somehow like why your business is going to be the finalist in this track compared with so many other companies doing the similar stuff.
I see. What about like regarding to the growth? How long should be the history of the startup? Because like, as you said, a lot of them. So how should be the like traction of it, like measured?
Probably, I think 2 to 3 years in the past, depending on the different markets. Some markets are very new. That probably only 1 or 2 years since it was known. But there might be other industry that already be very solid in the past. But just new technology like digitalization or like metaverse coming in. But basically the business model doesn't change very much. So it depends on the track, I think.
All right. Thank you so much for the answer. And then I will give the mic to Wee for the next questions.